This is Detroit's Morning Answer with John Anthony on FM 92.7 and AM 1400. The Answer.
Welcome back to Detroit's Morning Answer with John Anthony, hour number 2. If you missed that first hour, head over to theanswerdetroit.com. Download the podcast. You can listen to the show no matter where you are. That's theanswerdetroit.com. It's really important that you download the podcast. You know, the higher ups, they look at to see and want to see how many people are downloading the podcast. And also head over, I started a YouTube channel, and Paul has been putting up a lot of the interviews of the show. So we love for you to go. Yeah, all of them. So we love for you to go and visit the YouTube. We're on YouTube. We're on Rumble. We're on, I forgot about Rumble, Paul. We're on YouTube, Rumble. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Detroit's Morning Answer. Follow us. We're on X as Detroit's AM, I believe is what it's called on Detroit AM. We're getting a lot of more people to head over there, too. But, there are moments in politics when two stories collide and reveal something much larger about the condition of our country. Today is one of those moments. A sitting Democratic Congresswoman from Florida has been indicted for allegedly siphoning FEMA disaster relief funds, money meant for families who lost homes, cars, and stability, into her own political campaign, not into charity, not into rebuilding, into campaign coffers. While that scandal unfolds, another earthquake has hit inside the Republican Party. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene will be resigning from Congress on January 5th, leaving Georgia's 14th district without representation and triggering, in my belief, a scramble for one of the safest Republican seats in America, hopefully. Two very different stories, one common thread. Leadership is either earned or it's abused. It either protects the people or it uses them. It either strengthens our institutions or erodes them from within. That's why today's guests matter. John Gordon is the host of the nationally syndicated show, The Truth with John Gordon. He's a graduate of Mercer University Law School, a business owner and former journalist in Macon and Atlanta. He ran for Attorney General of Georgia in 2020 and earned the endorsement of Donald Trump. John lives in Palm Beach, Florida, but I tried to convince him to go move back to Georgia so he can run for the seat. So he has deep insight into both Florida and Georgia politics. He understands law, campaigns, media, and he also understands what happens when corruption crosses into disaster relief dollars or when a safe district suddenly becomes wide open because a major political figure walks off the field. John, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, John Anthony, and happy Thanksgiving week.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving week to you. John, let's start.
We have a lot to be thankful for.
Yes, we do, and that's why I don't like people that put up Christmas trees before Thanksgiving, but I digress.
I'm with you.
But, John, let's start with the Florida indictment. When you first read that a sitting congresswoman was accused of diverting FEMA disaster relief funds into her political campaign, what was the gut level reaction from the lawyer in you, the journalist?
Another thing to steal from the poor and the hungry. That's inexcusable. It's unpardonable.
Yeah.
And she's going down, as she should. It's just the Bible says that the love of money is the root of all evil. The longer I live, the more I see it.
Yeah.
And when people love money, I mean, I work hard. I've worked hard for money. I don't dislike money, but it doesn't control who I am. And when it controls who you are, you're screwed. You get a problem. And that's what's happened to this lady.
Yeah.
She's going to learn the lesson the hard way.
Now, John, you've practiced law. You've run statewide, and you've overseen business operations. What part of this indictment?
Still do.
Yeah. What part of this indictment stands out to you as the most egregious, though? The alleged theft itself, the misuse of federal relief funds, or the exploitation of families in crisis?
Well, I think it's the latter, if I have to pick one. But none of it is good. I mean, on every level that you just said, she's taking money from someone else that she doesn't deserve, and doing so because she perceives that she has power, and that she then abuses that trust that people put in her. And I worry that it's the tip of the spear,
Yep.
the tip of the iceberg. I mean, I think that it's almost accepted inside the Beltway in Washington to do just that. And you see these people that have gone to Washington with nothing.
Yeah. And
5 or 6 years later, they're multimillionaires. I mean, you don't have to be a brain surgeon to figure out what's going on.
Now, John Golden, prosecutors allege that she routed the FEMA money through intermediaries and straw donors. From a legal standpoint, how do I phrase this? How difficult is it to build or defend the case around financial pathways that weave through multiple accounts?
Well, I think it starts very small. You do it once, and you get away with it, and you internalize that no one's watching, nobody cares. And she started it with her brother, as I understand it, and it was during COVID, and they had some sort of an enterprise or a business that was dispensing vaccines. And so then they started siphoning. Well, actually, what happened was, if my understanding is correct, that FEMA overpaid them.
Wow.
$5 million. Now, if that was the overpayment, how much money did they take in the process? But look, if it was a legitimate, straight-up business and they were providing a good or service to the government, fine. Through hopefully it wasn't through favoritism, but a bid process. And then FEMA overpays them $5 million, and they just don't bother to tell anybody, and they pocket the money and then start trying to surreptitiously hide it so that they won't get caught. And of course, we now know that the whole house of cards collapsed, and now they're having to pay the piper. Well, but who else is doing this sort of stuff? This federal government, John, I keep saying it, it is rotten to its core. I just left Dallas, Texas on Saturday. I was there for 3 days. We did my radio show from there on Saturday. I interviewed Lee Harvey Oswald's mistress. I talked to people who have studied the assassination for 60 years. And I left that conference with the confirmed conviction that our own federal government killed our 35th president, assisted by the mob. And how low has our country become? If that's how our country, that the leadership of our country are colluding with the mob to carry out murder, how much more do you have to know? And the fact of the matter is, it was 64 years ago, but it's still going on today. I mean, you just look at the things that have happened in our country over the last 20 years. The collapse of Building 7, nobody can explain it. The death of Robert Kennedy, Martin Luther King. You know, there was a trial in Mississippi 20 years ago that was a civil suit, and then that the King family brought. And the jury, 12 men and women, concluded that James Earl Ray did not pull the trigger, and that it was a conspiracy that likely involved our own government.
Yes, I do. I'm quite aware of that.
Is that the country that you want to live in?
No.
And it's not the country that I want to live in, but I love America. I don't want to leave America. I'm not going to leave America, but we all have to join hands and demand accountability, transparency, and a cleansing of America. All these secrets need to come out. I have this thought that's a crazy thought, but I think we give every member of Congress a 30-day period of amnesty. You go in and you confess your sins to somebody. I don't know. We'll have to get priests from around the country to come to Washington and set up a confession booth, and we give you amnesty for your sins. If you took money, if you've been blackmailed, you just come and you tell somebody, we'll give you a clean slate, and we go find the people that are doing it. We rout them out and we prosecute the hell out of them.
I'm with you there, John Gordon. But John Gordon, I mean, FEMA is one thing, but imagine if we had someone in this Trump administration who actually looked into the NGOs and that funding and that web of terror. That imagine how many politicians have gotten other people rich through the NGOs. I know the governor of Illinois, his family owns 64 NGOs. And what are they doing with these NGOs? should the Trump administration try to find? I mean, they found this. How can they not find what has happened with the NGOs and the monies that have been pushed through USAID? And I'm so glad that they've shut the doors of the USAID, John.
Well, I'm skeptical about whether they've shut the doors. I know that they took the logo down, they moved it out of the building, but they moved it to the State Department. Yeah. I mean, I just think the cynical side of me wonders. I don't have any proof, but we know that USAID is not completely dead. But they moved it to the State Department under Marco Rubio's management, and so did they close it down or did they change the address? The fact is, I don't know, but I just think that this government is rotten to its very core, and that they have this unwritten rule between them that you don't rat me out, I won't rat you out, and we're going to get rich at the expense of the American people. And they've got so much money they won't miss it anyway. So let's just let the good times roll, baby. Yeah. So who's going to watch the hen house?
Yeah,
Elon Musk did, and look what happened to him.
Yeah. Yeah, he got vilified. And I think that's one of the things that Anna Paulina Luna was frustrated with as it related to the young lady getting sent, the Plaskett being censored, how Mike Johnson and the leadership got together and said that they wouldn't push through the censorship. And she got up on the House floor and talked about that. The American people need to know about that. This whole thing that the Democrats and Republicans, they're two birds of the two feathers of the same bird. I agree with that, John Gordon. What is your assessment on that?
Well, my mind has gone from trying to understand what has happened in all of these events to how do we fix it? Yeah. I think we have the information that we need. We know our government killed Kennedy. We know that Building 7 didn't fall on its own. I don't think that Thomas Matthew Crooks took a crack at President Trump. I think it was Maxwell Urich. Do you think that this guy, Tyler Robinson, that lived with a trans person, what a convenient story to make everybody in America not like Tyler Robinson, except for the abnormal people that think that trans is okay. Yeah. I mean, it's just such a pat story.
Yeah.
And it's intelligence the intelligence community's fingerprints are all over it. If you watch Candace Owens, she's doing great reporting on it. Makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. Yeah. But I think that you and I and Tucker and Candace and what's her name, the pretty blonde, we've all got to get together.
Megyn
Kelly, thank you, and lobby the American people to express their outrage and demand that this stuff stop, and that we've got to get America back on our Judeo-Christian values and get God and Christ back into our lives.
I totally agree. Before we pivot to the Marjorie Taylor Greene, I just want to, this is a tried and true thing. Whenever a black politician is challenged or they're tasked with hard questions, this is the way they go with every time that somebody pushes them.
I look forward to my day in court so I can prove myself and actually state the truth. But if this is what Congress is becoming, where they're always trying to intimidate you, scare tactics, especially attacking minorities, black and brown people, then we're going to have to keep fighting for the district. And everybody has been giving me so much support.
John Gordon, this wasn't an attack about race. This was an attack about you used money and funneled it. What does race have to do with this?
Bonnie Willis 2.0. Letitia James 2.0. I mean, it's like, okay, you caught me, but I'm black, so I get a free pass. Well, I'm going to start stealing money and just explain it on the basis that I'm a senile, old, angry white man.
Now, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she went to social media and she said that she's resigning. And here's one of the reasons why she says she's resigning. She didn't want a hateful primary.
I have too much self-respect and dignity. I love my family way too much, and I do not want my sweet district to have to endure a hurtful and hateful primary against me by the president that we all fought for, only to fight and win my election while Republicans will likely lose the midterms. and in turn be expected to defend the president against impeachment after he hatefully dumped tens of millions of dollars against me and tried to destroy me. It's all so absurd and completely unserious. I refuse to be a battered wife, hoping it all goes away and gets better. If I am cast aside by the president and the MAGA political machine and replaced by neocons, big pharma, big tech, military-industrial war complex, foreign leaders, and the elite donor class that can never, ever relate to real America.
Now, John Gordon, I agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene when she said that. And I also believe wholeheartedly that when you are elected and you're an elected official, your allegiance isn't to anybody but the people that send you to that district. I mean, that vote for you and send you to D.C. So I have no problem with people pushing back against even President Trump. What do you think about what she had to say about the reason why? Because be blunt, what forces typically cause a sitting member of Congress from a very safe district to suddenly walk off the field midterm?
Boy, there's so much to unpack there, John Anthony.
Yeah.
It's hard to find out who the white hats are in this. I know Marjorie Taylor Greene. I followed her career. I've known her since before she was in Congress. She and I sat at the same table at Mar-a-Lago for 4 hours, raising money for President Trump in 2020, or actually 2019 probably. And so I followed her, and I've supported her. I've been kind to her. You want to know what I think about Marjorie Taylor Greene?
I do.
I'll be honest. I used to be blunt. I'll be perfect. I'll be totally honest with you. And this is just my opinion. I love her. I love her rhetoric. I love her policies. I don't like the messenger. She is a mean-spirited human being. And I listened to that tape, and it's all so virtuous. Oh, I love my family. Oh, I'm not going to go through a bitter, mean-spirited campaign where the president is undermining me. It's all so virtuous and so sweet and so kind, but she left her husband for another man and destroyed her family. So don't tell me loving your family. You destroyed your family. Yeah. And I don't say that to be mean. I say that to exemplify the kind of person that she is. So I have very little respect for her. But let me tell you something else.
Yeah.
I kind of say the same thing about Trump. People call him Donald the Great. I call him Donald the Ingrate. He would not have been president were it not for Elon Musk, I don't think.
He helped him.
Almost single-handedly carried Pennsylvania, which was a do-or-die swing state. He invested $250 million into the campaign, and he spent 2 months campaigning for Trump in Pennsylvania. And then Trump just so viciously turned on him.
Yeah.
And I don't respect that. I just don't respect it. And maybe that's why I really should stay and just work on my business and not get in politics, because I don't know that I'm cut out for it, frankly.
I think that's the reason why you're cut out for it, though.
Well, I just cannot be mean.
Yeah.
And Marjorie Taylor Greene fundamentally is a mean person.
Yeah.
And I've seen it firsthand, and I've experienced it to some degree. And Donald Trump, he's just flat out mean. But there's principle behind his meanness. And sometimes, I just wish he wouldn't be so mean. There's a difference between toughness and meanness. Yeah. And he crosses the line regularly with no self-control. And it's to me, it is a necessary quality of leadership that you self-discipline and that you not engage in ways that appear mean, because when you do that, it is divisive and it causes people to not like each other. Yeah. Because then you got to pick a side, And this country, I don't know whether I was living the lie or the fantasy, but I just don't believe that it used to be that way. I think that we could have political.
Well, I think we didn't have the media. I think we didn't have the media to exacerbate it or blow it up in a way. Now, here's a question for you, John Gordon. Do you think he's a product of what the media and other politicians have created because the reason why he's so mean, when you go down the list of everything they've done to him, do you think that's one of the reasons why he feels like he has to push back? Because he's not like that in private. I mean, he can raise his voice, but he doesn't show that side that much in private, right?
I have not seen it in private, but I've not been in his presence when the conversation was contentious.
Yeah.
Every interaction I've had with him has been very productive, and we were working on stuff that you really couldn't. There was nothing to argue about.
Right.
So we were very simpatico, but just behind the scenes, you hear rumblings of a lot of yelling and shouting in the White House, and I don't know that that's the most effective way to conduct business. And I still want to know how Elon got his black eye.
Uh-oh.
I don't think it was little buddy X. I just am not buying that one.
Yeah. Well, John Gordon, we got to leave it right there. He's the host of the syndicated radio show, The Truth with John Gordon. Go ahead and download it. Listen to the podcast. John Gordon, happy Thanksgiving. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too, John Anthony. I've enjoyed it as always.
As always, my friend. Detroit's Morning Answer with John Anthony. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.